tell you what, you guys, Tony Fleece has outdone himself this week. That book looks so damn good on that thumbnail. It looks so damn good on that thumbnail. Ladies and gentlemen, 70 Live. I know you guys have been waiting. We appreciate the hell out of you. We got a killer show. I think this list this week is probably one of the best all-around lists that has been chosen. It's amazing. You guys are absolutely going to love this. Trust me. You guys know how it works. I got the crew with me. I got Stein. I got Dollar. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. You guys, first thing we need you to do, it. Trust us. It will help us all. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up. The more likes we have at the beginning of the show, the more people come into the live, the more YouTube shares it on the algorithm, and the more we don't have to worry about the algorithm. Just hit that like button if you enjoy the show. And I think that you guys are here waiting because you enjoy the show. We got a lot of fun stuff to get through tonight. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that helped our boy Dollar get to over 600 subs on Popcorn Culture.
Thank you, guys. I'm not worthy. No, thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. First, I want to start by saying thank you to Ben and Bryan, these guys, and Mel. All three of these guys have been in my corner from the pandemic, like the beginning when I jumped on Flipside to present day. I appreciate you guys. I know I haven't hit 1,000. This isn't like a Hall of Fame speech. I'm not going to tear up. I'm still on my way to the monetary, but it just means a lot because I only had like 25 subs when we left Flipside, and now I feel like this is starting to become real. And this last thing is I want to thank you guys. I know a lot of you guys are my friends, and I talk to you guys all the time. We live in a social media, DM, text message, IG world, so we don't really get to hang out with each other personally, but we communicate enough to where there are emotions and there is connections and there's real feelings involved, and you guys are my friends, and I appreciate you, and I love you all. Thank you so much, and 2023 is going to be a lot better.
Yeah. Well, that being said, we only have a couple more weeks left in this year. We have Christmas is what, a week away? Like how many days away? What's today's?
It's like 2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks.
So 10 days. 10 days,
10
bro.
days. 10 days. Oh wow.
9 days.
Shit,
9 days, bro. Christmas Day is Saturday. Christmas Eve is a Saturday. Christmas Day is a Sunday, I believe, which I love that. But the problem being that what are we gonna do? I think that we're gonna have to take that week off. I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm down. I'll be down for Friday, but I'll tell you what, I'm definitely not going to be doing anything Saturday. I'm definitely not going to be doing anything Friday. And I expect all you guys out there, if you have the ability to spend that day with people that you love, people that you care about, figure out a way. If you can't be there in person, figure out a way to have somebody set up a laptop and throw you on a Zoom or a StreamYard or something, because those are great times. And there's nothing better than talking about the holidays with people you love. So that being said, tomorrow night on MCM, because you guys helped Richie get over 600, we're going to give away some Christmas gifts. We're going to do some great giveaways for you guys. So we're going to try and spend Christmas explosion fun time tomorrow on MCM. So come hang out. We're going to talk about Christmas covers. We're going to go over Christmas covers, the good ones, the bad. We got a great Christmas cover to talk about tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. So just come hang out tomorrow night, MCM. Get in for those giveaways. I think what we should do, Richie, is we should probably do one for the people that are hanging out live, one for the people on the rewind, and at the same time get you closer to 1,000. So let's get Richie to 1,000 subs, you guys. That's a very important milestone for somebody that wants to continue creating content. And not only will it help his content get better, it'll make him really enjoy making the content more. But that being said, he pulled some fucking bangers. I mean, some absolute bangers out of some cards. So make sure you guys go check out that huge case hit video that he just filmed. It's absolutely amazing. Good stuff, dude. So very, very cool. All right, let's get into the almost 10. brought to you by Beyond Wednesday. All right, we're starting off with a very interesting one right here. One that only the one and only Ben Stein could think of and put on this. Marching Marvin and the Red Watcher from 1966. Very Christmas appropriate book. Where did you see this thing?
Bro, I don't even know what this is. It's so weird, but the cover is so cool. I love I love this cover, and it's like 60 years old.
Yeah.
Um, and it
Doesn't
says
look
Santa.
like it.
I know it doesn't, does it? It says
Mm-mm.
Santa Claus presents. I don't know what I don't know what this is.
So there was a heritage page about this book. And on Heritage, they say, not content with the standard establishment sanctioned newsstand comic books, creative students began churning out their own skewed versions. People like Gilbert Shelton, Von Bode, and Joel Beck. Beck is considered to be one of the very first of the underground artists, and this book is one of his best. A tough item to find in high grade with only one printing, it remains a quite desirable book. And yeah, it's very interesting, man. Great find.
Yeah, this one sold for 215. Like you never like some of these books you like have no idea if that's a good price, bad price because I
Right.
mean these books are just they're so obscure that like I've got some really obscure books and like in my mind I'm thinking if somebody offered me $200 would I take it because I can't really replace it. So is that a good price? I don't know. Is that a good sell price? I don't know. But like in my mind, I'm such a strange book collector that when I get one that is like kind of really kind of off or whatever, I don't want to sell it because I know I cannot replace it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? One of the things that I'm going to do in 2023 is I'm going to get back into collecting just to collect, right? I'm going to find either I'm going to jump back into like skull covers and go, look for this cool skull and alien covers and get back into that niche collecting world harder, or I'm going to find something cool that I love to collect new and just collect it just to have fun. Find something that's tough to find, make it so when you do find one, it's amazing. It's like scoring a soccer goal or an NHL goal. When it happens, it's like amazing because it happens not very often type thing. And I think this is the type of book that would totally hit that category. These weird off the wall parts of history to the book, like
It's
Heritage said.
it's like Halloween, like we always talk about Christmas, Halloween, that small window to flip these. But this is something I think could sell all year round.
Yeah, yeah, cool book, very cool book. And with eBay and offer up or whatnot, eBay Live, Facebook sales, IG sales, short box. A lot of people have been selling well on short box. There are so many avenues for you to sell these type of books that you're right, Richie. You could sell them year round. You don't have to sell them this time of year for that thing. But very
Shout out
cool.
to our brother Mel. Congratulations on the IG sales, brother. Do
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's also gonna be starting a YouTube sale. He's gonna be going at Saturday nights, and I have a feeling that there might be some dual streaming going on for that. So you guys never know. You never know. All right, next on the Almost 10, another great cover right here. A 1 in 50 Opania. This is Daredevil number 3 from 2014. Beautiful book. Gorgeous.
This cover is awesome. That
Yeah.
sunset is just magnificent. This is the kind of cover I've never seen this in person, but this is the kind of cover that I would of a mainstream title. This is what I would buy for sure.
You know what
Um,
they call these color sunsets in Arizona? Because we get them daily at some points in the year. Like there's not a day where we don't see this sunset in Arizona. They call this watermelon sunsets.
Really?
Pretty good name for it, right?
Yeah, that's
A
cool.
perfect watermelon pink color. Yeah, that's badass. Beautiful.
Yeah, but this kind of follows the rule of three. Once you get to that third issue, sometimes the fourth, sometimes the fifth, but once you get to that third issue, those incentive variants are so much harder to find. And this was still a 1 in 50, so this one's probably pretty rare. Sold for 175 raw this week. Honestly, I think if I saw this for that price, I generally don't spend big money, but this cover is so cool looking, that I think I, w- I would have to at least consider it, um, picking this one up just because it looks so good. But
You know, it looks super cool. The birds on the wires.
oh yeah, they
Oh
sure absolutely.
yeah, nice.
They look. I mean, that's about as good as a cover that you can get. I'll be honest. That's one of those covers. Seriously.
Yeah, I
So
love it.
175. Yeah, 175 bucks. I don't feel bad about that. This next one is about as good as a ghost book as you guys will ever see, ever know about. And shout out to our boy Steve Horn for picking not only one up but two up. The reason he recently sold one, I think. So maybe the recent sale of this amazing all-star comic. Shout out to our boy Steve Horn. Did he sell his?
I do not know. I don't know the seller. I know that this is one of those books that you don't necessarily, unless you're looking at the little, spot up in the top left hand corner that says RRP, you don't realize this is an RRP. And this is probably
Might
one
be
of
the
the
first.
early, it might be, this is one of the earliest RRPs out there. Um, and it just doesn't have that same look that looks like, oh man, that's a special book. And man, it's kind of an obscure all-star comics title. I mean, it looks retro and all, but yeah, this one is a beast to find. I've never seen this one in person. But in CGC 98 did it sold all-time high for 1,000 this week. Basically, I think this is from they had it listed as 1999, so this was before the Batman 608 RRP,
Yeah. Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because that was,
It might have been the same year. Hold on, let me just make sure.
I'm
It
trying to
might have been
remember.
it might have been the same year, but on that same thought process, it's so rare, and at the same time, um, JSA fans can be rabid, right? And this is a perfect JSA cover, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. Yeah, I agree.
it's cool.
So let me just do a quick check here, real quick. So, no, My Bargain Comics has an Instagram post. That's where I saw it. He had an Instagram post that said, we would never sell this book if we didn't already have one in a 9.6. So he put up a raw one. He must have sold a raw one recently. But man, I'm not mad at this book being a 9.8 of this being $1,000. I'm not mad at that. I mean, I wish I could find one for less than 1,000, but this being $1,000 book, I'm cool with it at 9.8. So very, very cool.
Definitely not one you see every day.
No, for sure. Next, another one that you definitely do not see every day. I don't think I've ever seen this next book. I'm sure a lot of people might not have ever seen it. Die Hard Year One, the 1 in 25 Yippee Ki-Yay variant.
I featured this book years ago when I used to write, like ghost books, like ghost hunting, and I featured this book because this book just does not. And I'm mad that I didn't see that this one went up for sale because I usually am looking for this because it's just such a, it's just one of those, you know, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s,
Mhm.
Die Hard was it. I mean, like we just loved Die Hard.
Even cover
Um,
A, I look for because it's
oh
Steve
yeah,
McClane, first
yeah,
comic appearance.
yeah, absolutely. So this one is, yeah, 1 in 25. There's nothing. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is the book. I mean, it's just black with big font of yippee ki That's
And
it.
the
And the
and the
cover, the
back
back
covers,
cover,
yeah.
yeah, all black. right?
Yeah. But this one sold, and I would have bought it for this. Sold for 100 raw. Um, this is just one you just don't see. Um, yeah, Liger. There was Die Hard. These came out 2015, 2016, something like that.
2009. 2000,
2009. Okay, so
2009,
wait.
2010. Yeah.
Okay,
I think it was the summer of 2009. August, September. Yeah.
so even older. But
I've
yeah,
never
this is just
seen this in live though. I mean, I've seen it, but I've never seen it actually in person. I've only seen cover art.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool book, very cool book. Be on the lookout for it for sure. For now, I will always be looking for this book now. This next book is all right. So there's ghost books out there, and then there's books that like it's not even worth calling them ghosts because you might see a ghost. You know what I mean? Like those type of books, and a lot of the times you like there's a certain category of those type of books that it'll happen more often, like Golden Age, Platinum Age, you know, PCH horror books, some PCH horror books like that. But foreign books, especially foreign books by amazing authors and in crazy genres like horror. And by the way, foreign horror, you guys, is like the next level type craziness. And this is one of those books. This is Contos de Terror from Brazil, number 22 from 1955. And I gotta ask, where did you see this one?
I found this one on eBay. The cover was so cool. It looks just like a pulp cover to me. This looks just like something that would have been on a cover of a pulp magazine. Um, it was a VG copy. If you buy foreigns, you know that especially these older books, they're in terrible condition. Sizzle, really appreciate it.
Much love.
Uh, Yeah, I don't know your IG or anything, but I would funnel people to your IG if you put as a comment. But yeah, yeah, very
Thanks for
very
the
much appreciate it.
4.99.
Yeah. But yeah, these pulp covers or these covers like this, they just look so cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know the artist on this? Is this a
I don't
Jaime
know,
Cortez book?
do not know.
So there's a couple artists that if you would have said them, I would remember them. I know one of them is Jaime Cortez, but these Golden Age horror are immediately what grabbed me from the Foreign Age crew. Right? Shout out to Matt Roybal, the OG, the all-knowing Maharaji of foreign books. He showed me some crazy foreign horror that I was like, dude, I gotta have him. So I traded him books that he saw that I had. He was like, I gotta have him. So I got this one where it's like it looks like uh Shakespeare. He's got like Shakespearean garb on. He's like a 13th, 14th century Spanish soldier, and he's literally like eating a baby. It's crazy. It's before the Starface Man. It's on all, you can see it on all the Bogcast episodes. But that being said, let me just show some people. I just got a quick web page I want to show you guys for some of these. This is a lot of the grandmasters of Brazilian horror books, and just to show you guys some of these crazy covers. I mean, they're just outstanding for that time period. You don't see them anywhere. A lot of these things you won't see anywhere else but on these foreign books.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy
Yeah.
right there.
Did the foreign horror, did they focus like on a lot of gore? Is it more like creepiness, or is it like cannibalism, or
It's like all of it, bro. Like
yeah?
there's this one where it's a clown, this crazy that
Oh, that
Josh
was
has.
cool.
That one's
That was
awesome right
dope.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's this crazy clown one that Josh has that I want. Yeah,
That was
Golden
dope.
Foreign Horror is just amazing. And again, this is gonna be this is why the foreign comic niche it instantly grabs people. This, especially this type of, you find this type of stuff, you find out how rare some of it is, you find some of the stuff that you will never be printed anywhere else out of these type of books. So very, very cool. Go check it out. Go hang out with the foreign comic magazine group on Facebook, and be on the lookout for our boy Josh at International Comics, who is going to be writing and doing some work with the crew over at Cover Price. So you can find some of his stuff over at Cover Price too. So make sure you guys do that. And he'll also be selling some stuff with Mighty Mel V on the YouTube channel and on IG. So International Comics. He's always putting up the craziness. I think he's selling right now, by the way. Don't go over there right now. Well, if you're watching us on a computer, then you can go over there on your phone. But other than that, stay here. Don't leave. 142 live. Hit that like button. Let's continue on with the almost 10. First, let me remind everybody, what did you see this is selling for? And
A VG copy sold for 100 for VG.
Wow, that seems like a good deal.
yeah,
I mean, again, you don't know exactly what kind of condition. I mean, they had it listed as VG. I mean, it could have been pop staples. I mean, it could have been who knows what you're getting as far. But you also could get, you could luck out. I mean, and get something really nice. So
Ben, can you touch real quick before we move on? Tell our listeners and watchers why do these foreign books, especially the South American books, are in such rough condition?
I mean, I don't think they were. I mean, like Americans, because we have tended for the past. For a long time, we've been kind of collectors of things, and so antiques. It doesn't really matter. We just tend to be collectors. But I don't think some of these people in these other countries, you know, they weren't collecting, and the humidity, especially if you go into like some of these Brazil. Yeah, I mean, these countries that are right along the equator and stuff, the humidity is really high, and when these books are just sitting out, I mean, like when I went to Costa Rica, I mean, these houses were open. I mean, everything was just the wind just came in they left doors open, and so when you have that high humidity inside the house, those staples just rust, and that rust goes all over the book. It just bleeds into everything, and
for a lot of them, they find that the staples are pulled, like Hi Nathan is saying. The actual collectors, the very few of the collectors that are in those countries or at that time, were smart enough to pull staples, and you'll find a lot of them where they have pulled the staple, then either left and then refolded them, and then put them in some type of bag and board or stored them some way. But yeah, that's absolutely amazing, and I'm surprised that most of them even. There's copies of them out there.
Even survived.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right, let's continue on to the next one. Another one that a lot of people have probably skipped over and not even realized how rare and valuable it was. The next almost 10 book, Haunt, issue 2, the second print. As you guys can see, there's a little second printing right underneath the 2, which is very tough to see, unless you know about it, unless you're paying attention. But yeah, great Todd McFarlane Haunt cover right there. So
yeah, I still think these Haunt covers in general are probably undervalued. I mean, they're still all McFarlane. I mean, this is McFarlane property. It's obviously not near as popular as Spawn, but I mean, we all know what I mean. McFarlane likes to toot his own horn. I mean, he doesn't think he does anything anything wrong at all. So the fact that he stuck with this for a while, I could definitely. I mean, and I think there's going to be a volume 2, right? They're going to start Haunt back up. Is that?
I believe so,
or something.
And
like that.
There's a lot of covers that might not even make the list. Like this second print doesn't even show up on comics.org. So I'm sure there's a lot of them. But as you can see, there's a lot of rare Haunt covers out there. Capullo covers, McFarlane covers, Otley covers. Haunt was a great series. A lot of people really liked Haunt. Who wrote Haunt? Was that Kirkman that wrote Haunt? Was it Otley and Kirkman? Let me see here. Let's take a look. Look at it. This is just for, this is Kirkman, Otley. Yeah, it was Kirkman that did most of the writing with, probably Todd McFarlane saying, I love that one right there. That one's in the middle. It's so great. So good. So a lot of great Haunt covers, but yeah, that Otley one is tough for number 2. Very, very tough. And make sure to look for that little second printing underneath the the price.
Yeah, this is a $150 book, so raw. So
Ooh, jeez. So
yeah,
James White, you just made well, my friend. Just bought the whole run for
Nice.
$52, even without the second print. Great buy.
Hell
Great
yeah.
buy. Yeah. So very, very cool. All right. Next on the Almost 10, another amazing book that I did not know about this one. So I don't have to complain about Stein showing off a book that I've been searching for. But this one is amazing that I will be searching for now. An amazing Red Sonja cover by Delato.
no,
Absolutely
this is Perio.
beautiful. Perio. Red Sonja number 76
Yeah.
by Perio. Holy cow, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a sick cover. Um, this sold this week over $100 raw. It is just this is gorgeous. The horse, the staked heads.
Something
It,
about his art. He makes reds, browns, and golds like just I don't know. It's just ridiculous. So good.
You will very rarely see this one because I imagine every Pereiro fan out there and Red Sonja fan is looking for it.
yeah, this reminds. Wasn't there a Walking Dead cover with staked heads or something like that?
There was a Walking Dead, and there was also that Star Wars, right? By the way, you guys, if you guys don't know about Pereiro painting all of his stuff, I mean, here's his IG. Go follow his IG. He recently put this of an IG of him doing a work in progress, and he oil paints. Absolutely amazing. Beautiful. Crazy good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So anyway, this is over $100 book. So
yeah. I'm not surprised. Hopefully, I could find one for $2. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. So I wouldn't be
Nice.
surprised. All right. Next on the list, another like weird one. Like, what is going on here? Is it Kuber Skiber? Is that
Yeah, I
what it
think
is? Kuber
so.
Skiber?
Yeah. So it looks like.
A Marvel benefit issue, which, as you can see, it says Marvel benefit on the cover there. But yeah, this is a pretty low distribution book, pretty rare, with a bunch of Marvel stuff in it too, which is awesome.
yeah. So this one has a little bit of historical significance to it. I didn't know much about this, but I kind of read up on it a little bit. But basically, it's not produced by Marvel. This was done as I think like a dig on Marvel because this came out right when Marvel filed for bankruptcy,
Oh
and
wow.
so they put this as a Marvel. What did it say? A Marvel benefit book or something like that.
Yeah.
So they did it as a look.
Parody.
Yeah, like Marvel. Haha, you can't even, or you had to
You
file for
need money.
bankruptcy. Yeah, you need
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
the
don't
original
really.
X-Men with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really know what Coober Skeever means.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but um,
So
yeah,
it says here
basically making fun of Marvel.
Marvel declared bankruptcy just after Christmas of 1996, and the Marvel benefit issue tagline used on this book was obviously a joke, as the comic was given out free at San Diego Comic-Con in 1997. The book was essentially marketing for small press artists and writers who contributed to the anthology. The indicia even states, many of these fine artists make their own comic, ask for our catalog. So very interesting, dude. I love promo books. I love free books. I love San Diego Comic-Con free books. Great collecting niche that people, love. So,
Yeah, yeah. So this sold this week. There are a few listed on eBay. A good. It was listed as good condition. So I mean, very very low. Because I mean, this isn't an old book. I mean, it's 97. I mean, it's 25 years old, but sold for 35. So I would have suspected a higher grade, like even like an 8, like a very fine or something like that, would probably sell over 100. I would think for this,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
again, this is a book I would completely overlook. I wouldn't even think twice about buying this, but
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I love stuff like that. More information that you only get on the Almost 10. And you think that there was a couple of weird books in the Almost 10 already. Well,
oh boy, oh boy,
doesn't
here
even
it
touch
comes.
this.
Here it comes.
Untamed Foot Fantasy Romance
Look at Richie's eyes.
from 1971.
Now this says it's from the listing says it was from 1971, but I don't think this is from 1971. It looks, first of all, the cover looks too glossy, and the price is $6. So I don't think this is from
There's no
1971.
way foot fetishes didn't come like around until I came around. No, but I mean, no,
Yeah,
I'm
Trap like
kidding.
Furred. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I
Where's
don't
Furred
know.
Bird?
yeah. So this is wow. I mean, I like the little tagline: "Pretty feet and legs on every page."
Yeah. Yeah. Young Al Bundy. Exactly.
She's got some big ass bear claw feet, though. I don't know.
Oh gosh, this is where we're headed.
How much
Oh
did this
Um,
sell
man,
for?
this sold for $65. I again, I don't.
Great buy. Great buy.
I mean, if somebody in the chat this is what your thing is, I'm not making fun of you at all, but this is just an odd book for sure. Did you notice even the shoe after fantasy and the Y? It's a high yield shoe
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
on the trade dress.
Yeah. This is great, dude.
Just hey, it just goes to show that there is like there comics can do things that I don't think anybody else can do.
Yeah.
Like you would never see this in a Sports Illustrated or something like that. I mean, just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. The Bunyan special. Exactly. Jesus. Well, one more Almost 10 book, and this is a good one. The Simpsons. We all love the Simpsons comic, and this is Simpsons comic number 245, you guys. 245th and final issue of the Simpsons comic from 2018.
Yeah, I
So I
was
wonder
kind
how
of
many they
sad. I mean,
printed.
I don't know. I mean, when you think about it. I mean, the fact that Simpsons is still on TV, you would have thought that they would have just kept going with the comic until the TV show stopped. I mean, they went all the way to 245. Um, why not just keep going? I mean, I don't see why it
Yeah.
wouldn't, but um,
Well, it says here, it's a Simpsons comic send-off. Join Bongo for the final issue of Simpsons comics in the series finale that's been 25 years in the making. When Lisa brings home a lovable new pet from all creatures, great and small and cheap, it seems like the perfect gift, but this new addition to the family turns out to be much more than anyone could have expected, and soon Springfield itself is in danger. Only one person can save the town from total disaster, but they're too busy taking a nap. And it's a tale of twists, turns, irradiated missteps, and surprise cameos that will have your head spinning, bosom heaving, and wallet screaming to be emptied. A heartfelt series farewell from your pals at Bongo. We hate to say goodbye, so let's just leave it at smell you later. Includes a gallery of all the Simpsons covers, which is pretty damn cool.
holy cow,
245 of them.
how thick was this book?
Well, that's a great question. Is there anybody in the chat that owns
I mean,
one?
it was only a $4 cover price, so it's not like it, you know, but
I used to own this book, but in newsstand.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a great find. What does this sell for? What did this sell for, Stein?
this week it had only been selling for like 10 or $15, but this week it sold for 60. Um, so
Wow.
yeah, I would still. I mean, I'm still of the mindset that Simpsons, SpongeBob, Futurama, those cartoons that all kind of came out at this, that's, you know, 90s, early 2000s. Um, I I still think the people that were that age, are basically now getting into like their late 20s, 30s. I think these are going to be, you know, books, especially SpongeBob, but Simpsons for sure. I mean, because Simpsons is basically just it still is like a cultural phenomenon. I mean, it's been around since I was in high school. I mean, it came out in 1991 when I was a senior in high school. And it was
You know
actually,
what's
I mean,
crazy?
the first one were what on the
Tracy Ullman show.
Tracy Ullman show before that. So I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. I used to love the Tracy Ullman show when I was a kid, man. I loved everything on Fox. I thought Fox was amazing. Like remember when Fox, the channel first started, and like it had like edgy content,
In living
But
color.
yeah, dude, like everything, Married with Children, Living Color, this,
Mhm.
was 90210 on Fox?
Yep.
Yep, 90210. Yeah, man. I would not miss a single week of any or night of any of those shows. Like me and my friends would get together and watch 90210. Like that's how geeky it was back then, man.
And then
Um,
American Idol
Yep,
ruined everything.
it ruined everything, bro. Destroyed it. So yeah, we got X-Files from Fox. Dude, 21 Jump Street was awesome, bro. 21 Jump Street was badass, bro. I just watched some 21 Jump Street the other night.
The
I saw some
remake?
on YouTube. No, the actual ones on YouTube. They had some
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Dude, the remake is pretty funny with Jonah and
Yeah, it's not bad.
it's hilarious.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is good stuff. And here's the other crazy thing, just to add on to what Stein said. So, the other week we were talking to a really badass young new artist that International Comics Josh showed me. Guy named Art by Fitz. He came on the show and he talked about what really inspires him and what kind of like what he grew up loving art wise, and it was all Simpsons, Looney Tunes, all like Animaniacs, all the stuff on Nickelodeon, Rugrats, SpongeBob, those type of things. And I think that you hit it on the head. You're totally right about that. A lot of the generation that's going to be most of the young artists in the world right now are going to grew up on this stuff. This is what they inspired them to be artists. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, you guys, that is the Almost 10. Check out this show every week here on House of Stein, every Friday. And also check out Beyond Wednesdays. We are live every Wednesday for On the Radar and every Saturday for Modern Comic Mayhem. We'll be having a good time tomorrow night talking about Christmas stuff and lots of other fun stuff. So come hang out. Let's get into the honorable mention this week. Our Golden Age honorable mention, one that everybody should know. Little Dot. Little Dot number 1. Where did Little Dot first show up? Was it an Archie? It wasn't an Archie book, was it? Was it an Archie book? What was it? It was a.
I don't
Let me look
remember.
that up.
I don't remember where Little Dot's first appearance was. But this first issue here clearly has one of like cartoons biggest first appearances, and you just wouldn't think it just looking at
Yeah.
that cover. It's just one of those books that you're like, one, it does, to be honest, other than Dot's face, the the book itself doesn't look like it's from 1952 or 53. It just
Well,
doesn't look like it looks like it's from the 70s.
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks like a 70s Dell book or something.
Right.
I had it flipped. Little Dot didn't first appear in Richie Rich. He first appeared in her book, right?
Yes, Richie. This is the first appearance of Richie Rich.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is huge but you wouldn't know it because it obviously is not on the cover. And again, it just doesn't look like
It
one.
would be an old book.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't have
That
that
old.
look. And But this did sell this week. Um, a CGC 7.5 file copy sold for a ridiculous price for this book, but sold for 11,500, which is a big number uh, for this particular book. But it was a file copy, so probably looked really nice in that
Yeah.
slab.
Yeah. That's excellent, man. Yeah, big first appearance. Big first appearance. Pretty nice. All right, on to the next honorable mention. Now, obviously, you guys know how hard it is to get foil covers to show up on this, especially when they're new. There's not very many pictures of them, but just think of this as being a foil cover because the honorable mention is Riddler Year One, the second print Jim Lee foil 1 in 25 variant.
Yeah, it just came out this week, and this one's a tough one. This one was hard, and this is why I put it kind of on the honorable mention. There were very, very few like listed. There were not very many of these. Like maybe two, I think were listed. There was one sale. The sale was 70 plus on this, and it's just a 1 in 25. Um, so like normally if there were multiple $70 sales, this would probably be in the top five, for sure, this week. But just because of the lack of sales. But this is such a cool Jim Lee cover. Oh my gosh, this one looks super dark. It's the black label, so it has this feel like from the Batman movie. Where Riddler is really dark, is not,
Yeah.
like your Jim Carrey's Riddler, like very, very dark character.
Paul Dano, the guy that played the Riddler in the new or the newest Batman movie, he wrote this
Yeah,
origin story.
yes, he is the writer of this,
Yeah.
which is even crazier.
Yeah.
That
I
actually
actually
makes me want it more. I'd rather
I
check it out because of that.
Definitely.
I I agree. I would like to buy this. Not necessarily this cover. I would like to see what the foil looks like in person. Because I know every time you guys are like, "Oh man, this foil looks amazing," and then you look at pictures and you're like, "It looks like crap." But
Yeah.
you know, this is
That's why
one that
90% of the time it's hard for me to even find pictures that even you can even tell what it is.
right, right. So yes, I would just like to see, but I would tend to think because it is a second print, it is a 125. There's probably not going to be a whole lot of these out there. I just can't imagine there being that many people ordering a Riddler origin. I mean,
Second print
yeah,
ratio.
second print ratio. It's an
Yeah.
odd one. Um,
The first print I could see because there was a 1 in 100 attached to it. I think there was a 1 in 50 as well. The 1 in 100 was pretty cool because it actually has Paul Dano's face on there and looks
yes,
creepy.
yes.
When I first watched it, I've seen the movie like 5 times. When I first watched it, I was like, man, I had mixed emotions about it. And then as I've, gone on to second, third time, oh man, he was really good.
Yeah, yeah. I think that movie is so good because it's so dark, not only in the way they shot it, but the whole the way it was written. Here's the question. Is it going to continue with James Gunn running DC Warner Brothers?
It's a good question. In some ways, because I look at what Gunn has done in not only just in Suicide Squad, well, mostly in the Suicide Squad, but I don't want to say he trolls a little bit, but he kind
He
of
does.
did. He
He does
trolls.
100%.
Um, and so I just like in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, everybody, for the most part, I mean, for the most part, was pretty happy that to see uh, Henry Cavill in Black Adam, and then for him to like all of a sudden just be like, no, we're not doing that, and then have Cavill's come out with an Instagram post, and it almost, I don't want to say that it's trolling, but it feels like they're trolling us a little bit. Like they were so over the top with, oh, this was a great run, glad to have done. Like it just seems like they're trolling us.
Yeah, it seems very off, and you know why I feel like it seems very off. And shout out to Anthony over at Bird City Comics. I heard him talking about this tonight on Nearing Nirvana, and I agree with it. The majority of us comic book, fans and kind of like video game fans, and like Henry Cavill is one of us, and that's exactly what Anthony said. He's like it feels a little bit harsher because I think the majority of people really liked Henry Cavill, not only in that role, but like Henry Cavill as a person and as an actor, in our circle, in our tent pole. So that kind of sucks. I'll be honest. I agree. I think Henry Cavill is a cool dude. I think he's the best Superman by far, even better than Christopher Reeves. And I was so happy to find out that he was going to continue that role. As a matter of fact, him and Gal Gadot are the only people that I think should continue their roles from that, era. Everybody else, get rid of them. I don't even need to see any Aquaman stuff anymore. Batman, I wasn't a fan of Affleck as Batman. Flash is terrible. Keep Gal Gadot. She's perfect as Wonder Woman, even though Wonder Woman 2 was terrible. She's the most perfect Wonder Woman. And keep Henry Cavill, and you can reboot whatever you want, man. Just keep them, but not in the cards.
Yeah, that Flash. I mean, what's his name? Ezra.
Yeah, Miller.
Ugh. Not my Flash.
Prisoner number 4873.
I just don't like how they every time he makes the jump, it's just total slow motion, and it's just fire. It's lightning, and it's the whole time. It's just like, you know what I mean? I'm used to the Flash, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a different world, that's for sure. That's for sure. But I'm also at the same time I am looking forward to seeing what James Gunn can do. So we'll see. Hopefully it's good. All right, on to the list at number 10 this week. One of my favorite Catwoman books, one of my favorite covers for a long time, and one of those books that a lot of times for a long time you could find this book in a lot of back issue bins. A lot of people didn't know about it. Catwoman number 82, old school Catwoman run, gorgeous black and white cover with a little bit of color splash. What's going on here?
I'm not really sure. I mean, this was just basically like a $5 book. I mean, like, $5, whatever. But then there were multiple copies this week that sold for over 20, and I'm not sure exactly why. It is I love this cover. This cover is, I think.
It is. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't
Oh no,
mean to
I was just
interrupt
gonna
you.
say I just think this is one of the really good Catwoman covers. Um, for pretty much all the stuff that you mentioned, Brian. It's really good.
And it's a Harley Quinn early-ish Harley Quinn appearance, so I think that's a good thing. There was a point in time when Harley Quinn was at her peak back in the early 2000s, where you literally could pick up any Harley Quinn early appearance, like and make profit on and flip it for profit. So
Definitely on the
this
cover.
yeah.
And she was on the 83 and 84 covers, I believe. But not on the cover here.
No. So, well, is that her on the cover? Because doesn't she in disguise as she
Maybe.
breaks Selena out from prison? So I think that is her on the cover
Yeah, but it doesn't look
with a
like Harley.
smile. With a smile. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't look like
Yeah.
Harley.
No, you're right.
In the news this week, it was a lot of Margot Robbie on Entertainment Tonight, on the big outlets, and then the smaller outlets like Direct and Deadline, talking up Lady Gaga's Harley
Yeah.
Quinn in the Joker sequel. So maybe that has a little bit, something might be going on here, because this is this in the guts here. You have um, I think they battle or something, and then you can see on the cover they obviously do. And Comic-Con has the orders at around 29K, so it's not that many out
Well, they kind of team up in it. So that's one thing. And I don't know, man. Whatever happened to the Sirens run, right? Like Gotham City Sirens, like that
I
was.
know. God,
That's
I
a
love
bummer.
that.
So Stein did mention the other books. 83. This is the cover for 83. Really, really cool Harley cover. And then 84. It's her chilling on a gravestone. Her and Selena, and another good Harley cover. So be on the lookout for those if you're Harley fans
Yeah, I think
or
it was
getting into it.
maybe issue 81 or 80 is a really cool cover as well. It's got like a ghost or something on the front.
Yeah, that's 81. You're right.
I,
The origin of the Catwoman.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
really cool looking one too.
I like that one.
Yeah, there was a lot of good covers in that run. So very cool stuff. That's number 10 this week. Catwoman 82 for everybody out there listening and not watching. Hope you enjoy it. Next at number 9. All right, you guys, let's get into the Spider-Verse talk. Big excitement over all the Into the Spider-Verse characters because we saw so many quote unquote Spider-Men in the new teaser trailer, everybody pointing them out, everybody talking about them. And I think Big Leg did a really good job. And we've all done it before. Richie has done a really good job of breaking down, like which are the characters that you should kind of key in on, and which are the ones you shouldn't. And Big Leg did that on Wednesday on OTR, and Richie's going to talk a little bit about it some tomorrow night on MCM also. So let's kind of give people an idea of what our thoughts are into the Spider-Verse, because we've been lucky enough to kind of know somebody over the years that's had a little bit of idea of what's kind of going on, and we're able to kind of take his word at it because he's been right before. And I feel like, and people should probably know this, that obviously we're not going to get all those Spider-Man characters for very much time, right? Some of those characters that you saw in that trailer, you're going to get for 2 seconds, maybe 3 if you're lucky. You know what I mean? They're just going to be like going through some multiverse stream, and you're just going to see them or something,
Right.
So there's 4 characters that we all think that 4 or 5 characters that we all think that are good hits, and Spider-Man India is definitely one of them. And we're starting to see a little bit of upward movement on this book, but not as much as the peaks. When we
Yeah, I
first
mean,
heard.
yeah, yeah, right. And I mean, and you have to remember the peaks were still when everybody was going crazy and spending stupid money. I mean, this was basically a $700 book at the beginning of this year. I mean, and 9.8. So you have to temper what the current prices are based on what it was before. So um, it's up a little bit. Raws are like 30. They were down below 20, like the 20. And 9.8s are a little bit above 300 for this still, which is quite a difference between the raw price and the 9.8 price. So the 9.8 price may either the 9.8 price is inflated or the raw price is undervalued. One of the two, because that's a 10x jump between raw and 9.8s, graded 9.8s.
Somebody in the chat asked, "What's so big about Spider-Man India?" And by the way, there's a new design, so we are not going to be seeing, as far as I've researched, the default Spider-Man India with the the cool pants. I call them karate pants, but I don't know what they're called. But
Hammer pants.
Hammer
hammer
pants.
pants,
I was
yeah.
going to say the same thing.
But I don't know if you guys know this, if you weren't collecting, but Spider-Man India was a big mainstay, a very important member in the Web Warriors. Also a key figure all through Spider-Geddon, into Edge of Spider-Geddon, all the way into the current Spider-Verse stuff. So yeah, and not to mention she's been around, or she, whatever, has been around for what, 2002 was the first appearance. This is from 2002, or the actual, or is it 2002, right? The actual Collector's Edge.
For
I do not.
Spider-Man India,
Yeah.
Spider-Man India is, hold on here.
I mean, it's definitely with that Marvel PSR. That's like mid 2000s.
2004.
2004. Yeah, so she's been around for a long time, but really started to kick off with Web Warriors. Web Warriors is kind of what made punk so popular. I mean, a lot of us
Yeah.
really got into that Inheritors storyline with Leopardin and that whole Soulless, when they're jumping through the portals and stuff. And then when Spider Gang came out, we all went crazy. I mean, there's the variant covers, the story was awesome. There was just so many Spider people, but Spider-Man India was a mainstay with Punk and multiple others through the Web Warriors, and the Web Warriors were actually pretty popular. And not to mention, like I said before, the current Spider-Verse series is being ordered pretty heavily, and it's got mixed reviews. I understand, the political thing, but yeah, I mean, obviously Marvel is putting a microscope on this character, so I think this character could get the 3 to 5 minutes.
Not to be insensitive, they are called harem pants, I believe. HAREM, harem pants.
Pants.
But yeah, I think that, again, like everything that Richie said, I agree. I think Spider-Man India, Spider-Punk, obviously Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, and Miles are your 5 major characters. And then you could throw in, obviously, Spot being the villain. Richie talked about that a long time ago, and I remember Richie talking about that a long time ago on this show. Matter of fact, when I believe that Spot comic was on the list multiple times. So very, very good stuff. All right, next, what did you say this is selling for again now?
Raws are right around 30, and 9/8 are above, just above 300.
Not bad. All right, next at number 8 this week, a Star Wars book. We got to throw a Star Wars book in this. And listen, Raza has been just spot on. He's one of those artists that really rarely can do no wrong. But man, he missed a golden opportunity, and I know it would have been tough just to have Star Wars do it. But if Grogu was flipping the bird in this would have been the greatest Star Wars cover of all time, dude.
Yeah,
All
there's
time.
no, he probably did it, and Marvel was like, nope, nope, you need to put those other 2 fingers up.
Yeah, yeah.
It took me a minute though. I will say, when I first saw this, I, like, just glancing at it, I didn't realize, like, I didn't see Grogu at first. Like, it just looked like he just had giant bug eyes
Or like
with
fish bowls.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? It took me a minute to figure out what was even going on.
Right.
They look like Christmas ornaments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're all pretty much, we all love Raza stuff. He does a really good job.
Hell yeah.
Where is Raza from?
That's
a great question. Let me look.
Raza with
I'm
an
just
H.
curious. I don't even know why I'm asking that question. I'm just curious.
Moroccan?
Scott Wilson is his name. He goes by Raza.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, wait, I'm wrong. That's not right. Sorry, that's not right. That can't be right. Is that right? Let me see here.
Raza is from Gaza.
I'm thinking about. That's gotta be wrong.
I was going to ask you, Brian.
I think that's an article I'm looking at. Hold on.
While you're looking this up, Brian, there's 6 first appearances in the Guts. Is this considered a big Star Wars book?
This one's got 6 first appearances.
6 first appearances.
Wow.
So you got first appearance of Berg, first appearance of Jib Dodger. Go Dodgers! No, I'm kidding. First appearance of Miggs Mayfield. First appearance of Jin and Jin. So it's actually 7 first appearances. First appearance of Carson Teva and a first appearance of Trapper Wolf.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, it is. It is. So here we go. Razzo started out his professional career working on the 2010 revival of 1940s EC Comics Moon Girl after she officially entered the public domain. He's out of Panama, base operations in Panama. So very, very cool. There you go.
Everybody in the chat saying Philadelphia.
Hmm. I don't know.
Maybe he
Yeah.
resides in Philadelphia, but I think, I mean, if that's his real name, Raza, I mean,
Dude,
that sounds Central South American.
we have to just do a quick check in on this. Look at this, you guys. This is absolutely amazing. Now, this is Art Station, right?
Mhm.
And they're showing some of his work here. I think we forget some of the great work that he's done before. I mean, this guy is, look at this. I forgot about that book. I'd never seen that book. Have you ever seen that? How
Nope.
about these?
Is that Prince?
Yeah.
Holy crap. I want
This
that.
this one right here is amazing too.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, look at the Yoda.
This, oh, dude, look at these. Look at, I remember this one, the She-Hulk puzzle one. I forgot about that one.
I remember that one.
I mean, I forgot that he did the Punisher. The like, this guy is
insane.
Yeah.
Iron Sheik.
I mean,
yeah,
I
the
forget how
X-23.
really great he is. And he's been for a while. So, yeah, beautiful stuff. Basically can't really go wrong. I mean, he's about as good as a 400 hitter as I can think of in comics. So, great
Yeah.
stuff. So, according to his art station, he resides in Philly. How come that said Panama in that other one? I could be wrong. Maybe I read that wrong. All right, here we go. On to number 7 this week. We had to throw it in here. It is become an iconic Christmas cover, and it's hitting that iconic cover level. Lee Bermejo is one of the greatest artists in comic books. What can you say about this one? I mean, it's great.
Yes, this one's the only repeat from last week. It was only like 10 to maybe 10 to 20 last week. It's now up to 25 to 30. I actually thought it was already at the ceiling last week. So, for
Yeah.
anybody who listened to me, my bad. I'm not perfect at all.
I mean, in this market, I mean, who would have figured?
Yeah, for just a B or C cover.
Yeah, open order for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a brilliant concept. I agree with you, Chad Cave. Absolutely brilliant. And I love how it's the Joker with the cut cheek, which makes him even scarier. And I love how it's Robin on his knee. It's very, I said this before, it reminds me of like Ron English, old school Ron English art. He did a really good job of doing like kids wearing Batman and Robin suits and superhero suits. And this is what it reminds me of. It's excellent. The little Batman doll. I love how he's wearing the red Converse.
He's a redheaded kid. Is that Jason Todd was redheaded, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
So this one is. I saw it on a bunch of people's Instagram posts this week for pickups that they were really excited about getting this book. So
Yeah. It's
that's
excellent.
usually a really good sign when everybody's posting it as a pickup book.
One of my all-time favorite covers coming up at number 6, Spider-Geddon number 5. This is the, what variant is this? This is, what do they call this variant?
This is cover A.
Yeah, this is
Is
the
this
A
cover
cover.
A?
Yeah.
This is the A cover. Which one was the one that you wanted? Is this the one that you wanted?
Well, there is that Vanessa Del Rey that's the one at 50.
Is this the one that you wanted, Stein, or did you want a different one?
No, this is just the A cover. That's
okay.
That's what I was basing it off of. Yeah.
Yeah. I love this cover, man. This cover is amazing. And even the Stan Lee bar at the top doesn't ruin it. It's beautiful. Great stuff.
when you actually look at that and it says he died in 2018 and we're moving into 2023, can you believe that?
Yeah, he would have been 101 years old.
He lived a long life.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, it seems like for years we were waiting for him to die, and now he's been gone for almost 5 years. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy to me. But yeah, everybody's buying this thing now because of the Spider-Verse, that they saw one little tiny clip of Spider Cop, and which is just funny to me. It's just like, I mean, this is now a $15 to $20 book, a cover. Um,
The second of many Spider-Verse craziness to show up on the list this week.
Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Spider Cop could be the main character besides Miles and Gwen, and now I'll eat a crow pie for y'all. But I'm willing, not guaranteed, but I'm willing to bet that his part is about 30 seconds, and he's just like in the street doing this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know why I saw the picture of the Spider Cop, and it looked like I had flashbacks of Planet of the Apes when the apes came out as the cops, and that's what it looked like. Like, oh, this Spider-Man wearing a cop suit. It just looked like Planet of the Apes to me for some reason. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just didn't look right. But yeah, I'm not going to tell people what to spend their money on. But
Yep. I like this cover even if it was just a cover by. Great cover. And I agree with shout out to Drew at Wanted Comics that says In Huckley did the connecting covers for numbers for 1 through 5 of this series. So very, very cool. All right. Next at number 5 this week, shout out to my favorite publisher of this year by far, Opus. Another great cover, and this is a Joseph Michael Linsner cover for this one right here. Beautiful, beautiful cover. Eternal Descent number 2, the 1 in 10 Linsner variant, is on the list at number 5.
yeah, this one's selling for like 20. And I think maybe it's just me, but because obviously I was collecting back in the 90s, and I remember when Dawn and stuff came out. But I don't think Linsner gets enough love. He he paints a nice human. Like it's and most of the time it looks fairly similar, but they always look nice. They don't
Yeah.
they never look like trash. And I just don't think he gets enough love in general.
Stein says that they never look like trash. If you walk this up to any lady like past 50 years old and you show this issue, does she look trashy? And
Not trashy. I'm saying trash like like
No.
Liefeld, like
Yes.
Liefeld human
Yeah,
figures.
I get it.
Yeah, but she's
I
got
get it.
I just don't like the way she's drawn in the hip. She has an 8-pack but a muffin top.
Well,
Right?
hey, baby, BBLs, man. You can pay a surgeon to do just about anything these days. Jesus. Yeah, I agree. It's a little off, but I agree also with Stein that I'm a huge Linsner fan, man. Huge. I loved Cry for Dawn and all those Cry for Dawn covers and those great Dawn covers. And yet, like All About Comics says, he has been doing it for a long time, and he's very good at it. That's for sure. So, and again, shout out to Opus Publishing. They have been putting out some really cool stuff. I love the Monsters of Metal series. Make sure you guys pick up Krampus, the Krampus book that's coming out. If you picked up all the great connecting covers for that, there's going to be a Krampus one shot where it's Krampus playing the guitar. Looks awesome. So, but Opus has just been doing such a great job for a smaller publisher. There's 2 great publishers that I think have been doing really good this year for new publishers or smaller publishers, and that's Merck and Opus. And I think Opus is going to be my winner. They might be like my publisher of the year for this year. So I love them. Good stuff. And it's good to be at number 5. All right, number 4 this week. Oh, that takes me back right there, dude. That cover
Is that the right
is that
one?
not the right one? Is that not the
is
Barnes and Noble one? I think that's the Barnes and Noble one. No, Capullo and
No.
McFarlane.
No. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
It just doesn't have the trade dress on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have the trade dress on it. But man, that is absolutely gorgeous. Totally takes me back. Beautiful, beautiful Spawn book right here. This is the Barnes and Noble Spawn Spawn Batman Spawn #1, the Barnes and Noble exclusive right here.
Yeah, so both Capullo and McFarlane are listed as artists. I mean, they both got their signature on there. I don't know who's the main artist on this. It kind of looks like
Booth,
I can't tell.
Batman was Capullo maybe, and McFarlane did
Spawn.
Spawn, or Capullo did both the characters and McFarlane did the backgrounds.
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly
Yeah,
who is
yeah.
um
I agree that Glow in the Dark was amazing also.
but yeah, so I mean, there was like a billion of these the regularly distributed books on this, and so I think people are paying, because they're basically spending 25-30 on this one. I'm not even sure the one in a hundreds are getting $25. Um,
There's just too many, bro.
too many variants, and they probably every store probably ordered just a truckload of these. They're gonna be selling these things for a long, long time. I hope they don't do a second print, but they probably will, even if they don't need to. But
Yeah, I mean, look at them all. There's a ton of them. 1, 2, 3.
from what Yanni told me is there are no other store, like, I'm not sure there are
20.
any. There's not any other store variants. These are all just incentives and A B C D E F covers.
Well, there's 20 Batman Spawn covers, and then there's like Spawns in every DC cover and every Image cover there is this month, right? Or this year,
Yeah,
feels like.
yeah, yeah. They all
Yeah.
had Spawn covers for whatever, but
This one's so good. The Glow in the Dark.
I'm assuming so. Like Brett said, or Blood Sausage said, most Barnes and Nobles got 2 8-packs, and that's kind of what I heard from other people too. But I also, from what I've seen, people that went to Barnes and Nobles, they basically cherry picked any of them that looked good, and then left all the jacked
Crap.
up copy. Yeah, all the jacked up copies. So I
Yeah.
think I think somebody said there's like 600 Barnes and Noble stores in America. So if they got 16 apiece, I mean that's still like 10,000, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Listen, you guys, here's the honest to God truth, and it just is what it is. The majority of the comics that are printed nowadays, there is a gazillion of them. Period. Just think of that. Even when it comes to like some of these books, like this, like with the 1 in 100. I mean, there's going to be a ton of the 1 in 100s. There's going to be, and then you add on, there. I don't think there's. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's, like you said, there's no retailer exclusives for this. But then you add in the books with the retailer exclusives on top of everything else, all the other books. There's so many printings out there. It's very hard to be 500 copies or under, or even 1,000 copies or under these days. I feel like is tough. So
yeah, for sure. But again, that's why I don't generally buy new books. I usually will wait because I want to see. I like to see which of these books are actually hard to find, and those are the ones I end up going after.
yeah, yep. I agree. I'm with you. Find a
But
reason.
but it looks like people were saying it's a decent story though, so that's kind of cool. You are pulling Batman and Spawn together. I would hope that it would be a good story.
Who did the first Batman and Spawn was written by Frank Miller, right?
For,
The first
well,
one
they
they
did.
did.
Well, they had two. Remember, they had Spawn Batman and Batman Spawn, right? One was published by Image and one was published by DC. Or did they have
And
different
yeah,
writers?
was
I
it
can't
different
remember.
writers? I know I think Frank Miller did one of them. So,
Let's see here. Spawn Batman from '94. The Image was. Da, 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 da. It says it's a companion piece to Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, script by Frank Miller.
cool. Yep.
So that was the Spawn Batman.
Yeah. Good stuff. Hi Nathan says McFarlane had a stack of the 1/100s at the CGC signings. So yeah, I think he said what 1,300 signings he did. Just was it 1,300 or 3,400 or some crazy number that he did? And that
Sheesh.
there's
And
he
the Batman Spawn was written by Alan Grant, Doug Minch, and
okay
Chuck Dixon.
yeah yeah. I'd much rather. I like the Frank Miller one better, anyways. Be on the lookout for that newsstand. So, all right, let's get into the top 3 this week. Real quick, how much were the Barnes and Noble ones selling for in the secondary market?
25 to 30, but again, people bought a bunch of these, so people hoarded. It looked like people were hoarding them. They weren't just buying one; they were buying all the ones
Many.
that that Barnes and Noble had that were in decent shape. So if you find one at Barnes and Noble's, it's probably going to be one that's in crappy shape.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the top 3 this week. Another Spider-Verse book. This book, to be honest, was actually a book that a lot of people collected for a long time just because of the black suit stuff. I've had many LCS people, just chatting around the shop, and people talk about what a big book this was, when it came out, and what a big deal it was. Amazing Spider-Man number 258. But the reason it's on here now is all because of that quick little teaser that we saw the other day. You got it. You got it.
This is so bad. This one is really bad. I mean, okay, so Raws went from less than $10 to selling for $30 plus, because of this bombastic Bagman.
And a
I mean,
lot of
just
copies sold.
yeah, oh my gosh, so many copies. But just seriously, just like say that to yourself, and then say, am I going to spend a premium for bombastic Bagman costume? I mean, come on. That's terrible. That's really bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're not saying anything I don't agree with. Here's what I will say. I love the fact that there was a point where Spider-Man wore a bag over his head just because of the Fantastic Four stuff. So I could care less about this one. But I will say this. Before Into the Spider-Verse, there was a period in time where, like, when I was collecting, like, you remember the little 3-inch Marvel Legends that came out? They were the little, like, 3 3/4 inches that you could pose, and they came with those badass little clear stands, and they had all the different type of variants of the characters you could find. And at the same time, they put out it was when Spider Slayer costume first came out, that they did those variants where it was all the different types of Spider-Man on the cover in the same pose, but it would be all the different costumes. And I really got into collecting all the different costumes of Spider-Man in those little 3 3/4 variants. So I could understand, like, getting to a point where somebody will see Into the Spider-Verse that's just a Spider-Man fan and be like, oh, I love all the different Spider-Mans, I'm going to go collect them all. But paying some of the prices for this book just because of that, I mean, like you said, it's dropped a little bit, but you'll still see $30 sales every once in a while, $15 to $30 sales, 12 to $30 sales. Yeah, 40, 49. It's crazy, man.
Tons of copies in circulation. Shout out to Wanna Comics Drew. What up, man? He just had a great comment. Close to 400K estimated, give or take. But there are Mark Jeweler and Canadian price variants, and those are the ones you need to be aware of. I believe the Canadian price. What is the cover price on the 60? So it would be 75 cents, and it'd be a newsstand. Mark Jewelers would be 60 cents in newsstand, but you actually got to see the centerfold. But yeah,
Excellent information, brother. So 224 for a 9.8. Holy cow, man.
That was old.
Yeah,
That was the last
what are
sale.
9.8 selling for now?
I don't know if there was any
Been
9.8
many of them.
sales, but yeah, again, I mean, it's just one of those that I'm like, I would, especially on these Spider-Verse things, I would just kind of back off. I would definitely not buy it. And I'll be honest, I didn't think it was that great of a trailer. I love the first movie, and I'm super excited about the second one. I did not think the trailer was that great.
I thought the first little teaser we got a few months back was excellent. The way Spider-Gwen showed up and she just fell out of the window. You remember that one? I thought
Yeah.
that was excellent. This one, yeah, it wasn't so good. So, yeah, as Up the Down 7 says, half of it was the flashback. But again, how many of us complain when the trailer comes out and it shows us all this stuff, but it shows us 90% of the movie? I would rather have the trailer be hardly anything and be able to just geek out over the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so, like, I remember, like, when the trailer for the first one came out, and the music was what drove that. Like, all of a sudden, like him jumping out, and it was like, hype music, and it was just that. This one
Yeah.
didn't have that. This one didn't have like that, where it's dropping, the beats and stuff like that to make it exciting. It was just like, oh, this is the whole story of why why we're all sad and stuff. I mean, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that song? Sunflower, that Sunflower song that Post Malone with Ray Shremmerd. I don't know how you say that, but that song was so good, man. And I love that when there's a song that goes with a movie trailer so well. You know what I mean? Or a movie so well that whenever you hear that song, you think of that movie, or vice versa. Whenever you think of that movie, you think of that song.
I think of the other one, I mean, the Sunflower song for sure, but the other one um, is what was it? Crap, what was the other one? What's Up Danger? That's
What's Up
that one was,
Danger? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one was the
Yeah.
one that was like super super hyped. Um, I hope they have like I said, a lot of that was the soundtrack, but
Yeah.
um,
A soundtrack can do so much for a movie and can and also ruin a movie. If you have a bad soundtrack, it can just destroy a movie, man.
yes.
So anyways, number 3 this week, there's your Amazing Spider-Man 258. So maybe if you got a stack of them, throw a couple of them up. Make a couple $30, $20 sales on this. Nice and quick. All right, you guys, at number 2 this week, one of the best covers I have seen in a very long time. And I'm going to geek out over this cover so much. First of all, shout out to our boy Tony Fleece, who is just, we love him over here for everything that him and Trish and the crew did with Stray Dogs. I mean, just amazing stuff. Tony has a new series coming out here soon. Local Man. If you guys didn't see it, it was on the cover of previews recently. Shout out to him for doing this cool new series with Tim Seeley, and I can't wait to get him on the show just to talk about it and geek out over it. But even doing that, I'll tell you what, man, this cover right here is unreal. So good, man. Dark Ride number 2. Is it Dark Ride number 2? What is it?
3.
Dark Ride number 3. The 1 in 25, Tony Fleece? Is it 1 in 25?
1 in 25. This is the third.
Yeah.
This is the third one. So issue 1 had like Little Mermaid, or was it 2 that was Little Mermaid?
I
I
remember the
can't.
Bird City Dark Ride variant with the they did Mario Kart. I remember that one. Um I'm not even a big Disneyland fan, and this book is awesome. It's got the kind of tattooed punk style Snow White. All the 7 dwarfs look like they're from that movie Freaks. You know what I mean? Like, it has got a wild take on Snow White and Disney, and it's just perfect art style. It doesn't you know what Tony is really good about with his art, man, is he can change up his style. Like, not all of his he's got like different styles where his art looks different. You know what I mean? He's got his really kind of I love the stuff that he does where he makes stuff look kind of vintage. He does that a lot. And this is so different than a lot of his other stuff that he does. He's got a kind of cartoony style, but this right here is very tattoo flashcard-esque, independent, Robert Crumb type art from the 70s and 80s. This is the type of stuff, when I say skateboard art, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about when I say skateboard art. This is just a perfect cover, perfect design, everything about it. I love this. So good,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. And the 1 and 2, this one's selling for like 40 to 50. The 1 and 2 variants are still, the 1 and 25s are still selling in that same range, so they've held. So it's not like where we see a lot of these where they sell, 40 to 50, and then a month later they're $20. So they're still holding. So I think is that they seem to, this run seems to have a some staying power to those 1 and 25. So that's a good sign for this series.
Oh man, I love how the bottom where the trade dress is, it's kind of like a mirror, right? But it's got the blood red and the kind of skulls around it. It reminds me of like old 1940s cartoons. I don't know. I love it. I've always loved that skateboard style art, the nostalgia style Santa Cruz art, tattoo flash art from uh, you know uh, old school tattoo flash art from the 40s and 30s. This just really hits it for me, man. Type of stuff I love. Very good job, Tony. Very good job. So I will be picking up a couple of these. You think, and it sounds like it may hold its value, man. If the other ones are holding their value pretty well, it sounds like it could on this one too.
Right.
So, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. All right, you guys. Number 1. You ready? Your guys are going to love this. Spectacular Spider-Man number 24. Oh boy, man. I feel like this is the type of spec, man, that I never thought we would see again. C and D-list character spec. And you know what? Screw it, man. I'm all for it. If this book can sell for $40 raw, let's do it, baby. Go find it. Great character,
Yeah.
too. What a great character. Hypno Hustler.
Yeah. So 9/8 went from 180 to 270. Raws went from $10 to $40. Um, hold it. You really think Hypno Hustler is a good character?
Get out of here. You kidding me?
No.
No.
I hope our listeners and live and our subscribers didn't run to the eBay once that key alert came out and wasted your money on this. I mean, this guy I don't even think he's had like I don't think he's had more than like 5 appearances in story, in or out of continuity. I think most of his appearances besides this were in handbooks.
I don't even understand. I mean, the fact that they got Glover attached to this to start with is
Yeah,
crazy.
Eddie
I feel like
Murphy's son's
Penny-
writing it.
I feel like that's a troll. I'll be honest. I feel like that's a
it
troll.
is, right? But
Yeah.
Patrick is 100% right on that Bad Bunny thing.
Yeah,
Um,
100.
yeah, I mean, this is just weird.
Hey, but I'll agree with Drew, right? If you got it, sell it, man. If you got it, sell it.
Absolutely.
Go sell this $40, baby. If you got a nice high grade cover, don't even send it into CGC. Just put it on eBay. High grade raw, near mint plus. Man, go make your money, because you're not going to be able to sell this book otherwise. But you know what would be really freaking funny? You know what would be hilarious is if in 3 years the Hypno Hustler is straight up,
Yep.
one of the biggest movies in the world.
I was just thinking that.
It's
it's being like the best Sony verse freaking MCU, whatever you want to call it.
They're
movie.
bringing Dazzler in to like have a female version of him, and it just becomes this crazy Deadpool style, just crazy thing, right? Because if there's anybody that could do that, that could pull it off, Donald Glover could do it, man.
Yeah,
Like, I
totally.
think that guy could pull it off. Donald Glover is an absolute genius. Atlanta, especially season 1 and 2, was some of the best written, shot, acted, TV stuff I've ever seen, and just great writing. His music is amazing. Anybody that's not heard Donald Glover's music, there's a problem. Make sure you go check it out. Early on, he was doing some really, really crazy comedy stuff when he was really young back in the day, with two of his friends that I remember catching on to, when like Napster was first going on. I remember finding him and his friends. They had this comedy group that they did these crazy little skits online for, and it was funny even back in the day. And everything this kid does, it turns to gold. Everything turns to gold. So if there's anybody that can thank you, Up the Down 7, Derek Comedy. Yes, Derek Comedy back in the day. Anything that he does has done well. And if there's anybody that can pull it off, it's him. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but wouldn't it be funny if it does?
Well, remember Eddie Murphy's son is writing the script, the screenplay.
Yeah.
So
Has Eddie Murphy's son ever written a script before?
Great question.
I don't know. That is a great question. I have to look that up. But I mean, if he's anything like Pops and his uncle, rest in peace, Charlie Murphy, you know,
Is it Miles Murphy?
Miles Murphy, yeah, with a Y, I believe. Yeah.
See here.
You know what I do like? I will admit this. So I will admit this. What I do like about like the Bad Bunny book, shout out to Patrick. He's always on point. Thank you for that comment. But like that Bad Bunny book and what's happening here. Also the Spot books. I mean, Spot's is becoming pretty big because he's going to be the main villain in both the first half and the second half of those Cross and Beyond. But now when you're digging through long boxes and back issue bins, now when you spot this book, you won't pass it. You'd be like, oh, cool, and then boom, just you list it, sell it. But yeah.
All right, let's see here. Let's see if it says anything that he's done.
Rocket Racer or whatever. That's ASM. What is that? I remember that guy. The roller skates.
Yeah. I can't really find anything much about him, so who knows? I mean, he might have done something really really good in the past, but I can't really find anything. It's interesting, man. It's very
I'm just trying
interesting.
to figure out why they would even pick this character. I mean,
Because it's a
why would
troll.
you think it's complete troll? Like they're not.
I think a troll, you can pull off trolls in many ways. One, you can pull off a troll by just saying it, and just even you saying it is a big joke. Two, an even bigger troll is saying it and then pulling it off and having it be good when you knew that like this is just a joke to see if we could do it. It's a big troll and it turns out being good. You know what I mean? There's a couple of types of trolls that happen a lot. So I could see it still being a troll and then being like, you know what? Let's try and make it work. That type of thing. So I don't know. Yeah, even make a fake trailer, something like that. And Donald Glover, I could see him doing something like that very easily. Very easily.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, he's going to incorporate probably his musical talent in there. I mean, it could work. Definitely. I'll definitely probably see it. But like Chazelle says, Hypno Hustler is a bust, man.
yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? But it's selling, and a ton of people were talking about it. And how often are you going to find a book that probably couldn't sell for $1 or $2 the day before? Now it's selling for, $40 raw and
Oh,
209.8.
and yeah. So I've typed it in the chat, but for any people who are not reading the chat, and are wondering how this got on the list today, because the news just came out today. I did not finish this list until like 8 o'clock, like 4 or 5 hours after this dropped. So The list is it's a living thing, and when I'm writing it, it's based on when I'm writing it. So if I don't get to it, early, then
That's better. I like
whatever
that.
news is on Friday is free game. I don't I bump things out if I have to.
I like
So
that
that yeah, so that's
because
why
Yeah.
it's on there.
because like there's sometimes you watch stuff in the news, or you're watching whatever it is, you're watching NFL Network and they're talking about the top power rankings. You're talking about last week. We're talking about the now, and Ben does a good job at that.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. I love this list this week. I'll be honest. I thought it was excellent. I thought that this is the type of list that this list has always been. Take a look at what's selling out there. Tell people, whether it's we think it's warranted or not. This is a hot book. This is a hot book right now. And it's very easy to throw up Amazing Spider-Man 300 or Spawn number 1 or you know,
UF4, yeah.
yeah, UF4 on a list, and to be honest, if 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 the reasons a book was on the list because of total sales and highest number sales, the list would be the same every week. So it's tough to write these lists sometimes, you guys. It's tough to find out what's selling out there. There's very few ways to get selling data. Guess what, you guys? You're not going to get selling data from Whatnot. You're not going to get selling data from most places. You can only get selling data from a few places. And, thank God that there's other companies out there that track some of that stuff, but it's not always about selling data either, in my opinion. I mean, I know with Stein that's a big part of it is a book's got to be selling for more than it was the week before for him to think about it. But man, if sometimes that there's a book that is being talked about and, if it's being talked about that heavily, there's a reason. So it's much love to Stein for writing this list and doing what he does. This was a great list this week, in my opinion. And thanks for everybody for hanging out 150 live till the end. Hit those thumbs up. Make sure you guys go check out Drunken Chat following the show. I think they've already started. So as soon as we say goodbye, jump on over there. We'll see you on Modern Comic Mayhem tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a lot of fun over there. Come hang out. Stein, how did Stein packs? They all get sent out?
Everybody received them except for one person sent me the wrong address, and theirs is going back in the mail tomorrow. So other than that, I believe everybody received them. And
And
if you are watching and you did buy one, um, please post it to Instagram. I saw people
yes.
people are not that happy with mystery packs in general, but I don't seem to have that issue. So if you're happy with it, tell everybody, because it doesn't have to be that way.
Yep. Yep. And on top of that, you guys, I think that one of the things that you're going to see more from us, for sure, are cool things like that. I think it's very cool for Stein to do those mystery packs. I think it's cool. He gives people a great chance at getting some really tough to find books that he enjoys going out and finding throughout the year. And a lot of us do stuff like that. So you're probably going to be seeing more of that from our channels, cool things for sale, cool membership opportunities, cool ways to get apparel and stuff that, from stuff that we enjoy doing, we enjoy making, we enjoy talking about. And everybody, a lot of you guys that enjoy watching these shows, you enjoy the stuff that we enjoy. That's why you're here. So if we can get you guys that stuff in your hands and do it in a cool way, you're going to see more of it. So make sure you guys stick around, sub up if you're not subbed up, and be on the lookout for more goodies as the months go by. I'll have a sale on Whatnot, I believe, on Sunday. I'll finally going to have that cosmic sale I've been talking about. So a big cosmic sale. If you guys got anything you're looking for, before Christmas and you want to get it out to you before Christmas, you got a week to go, shoot me a message. And if there's anything that you're looking for that I can get to you, I'll put it in the sale and come hang out. That being said, much love to everybody out there. Every Friday, don't miss it. House of Stein. We'll see you next time.
See you.
Adios.